Hi, I'm Brandon Ingram, and today we went out and interviewed students from the speech and debate team about this upcoming season. Speech and debate is just firing up for this year's season. What events do you compete in and why do you like it?
Well, I compete primarily in policy debate. Last year I did a lot of stuff. I did policy, I did Congress, public forum, bit of LD, just a little bit of everything, but this year I'm really focusing on policy, and I really like policy because I feel like it's a very intellectual form of debate. There's a lot of complexity that's involved with the interchanging of arguments, and the speeches are the longest out of any form of debate, and I feel like sort of acting as though we are real-world policymakers can help us become better social advocates for change in the real world, and just you get a lot of education because the topic is a year-round. And this year's is protection of water resources, and I, for one, have learned much more about water than I ever thought I could in my entire life.
Why did you begin debate, and what are you hoping to get from the experience?
Well, I kind of began debate on a whim as a freshman because before that in middle school I'd only competed in speech events, and I was like, I'd never do debate, debate's stupid. And then as a freshman I'm like, you know what, I'll take a ringer on debate, why not, right? So I tried it and I ended up really liking it because of what I talked about before with the educational aspect and the real world policy making. And you know, I really just hope I can continue writing it out and just keep getting better.
Nice. Transitioning from online to in-person debate is a hot topic for all who participate in it. So how was it like competing in competitions online last year?
It was good and bad. It wasn't as fun because we didn't get to go in person and hang out with people, but it was better because we got to go to higher quality tournaments, and then we got to go to some tournaments that were in like New York, Louisiana, and stuff like that that we wouldn't have been able to do last year, or 2 years ago.
So how are you excited to return to face-to-face competitions?
Yeah, very excited. It's going to be a lot more fun than just doing it from a Zoom screen. Also, we'll just get to see people, so yeah.
Great, thanks. Are you excited to return to face-to-face competitions?
I am so excited. People who don't do speech and debate don't understand how much the energy of the room makes you feel comfortable. Like if you're doing something funny or if you're doing something sad, it's really hard to just look at yourself in a Zoom camera. Like it feels so weird. So I'm very ecstatic to be back to having real audiences.
What events do you compete in and why do you like it?
So the two main things that I do original oratory, where I get to write a 10-minute persuasive argument speech and share it to the world about anything. And I also do dramatic interpretation, where I take either a published book or a play and condense it into 10 minutes, where I create an argument and share it. And to me, I find a lot of power in getting to share something persuasive because you can change people's lives in 10 minutes. I know that's so cliche, but you can. I've made people cry. I've had people come up to me and say, "You've inspired me." There's nothing better.
How was it like competing in competitions online last year?
It was a really big change for us, but since we qualified to nationals when the pandemic started, I definitely had a head start in terms of online competing. I just loved being able to travel across the country when that normally isn't available during a normal school year.
What events do you, Ava Autry and Paige Gonzalez, who were tournament qualifiers this year, are looking forward to one last memorable season before graduation. So as this is your last year competing because you're a senior, what are you looking forward to and what makes this experience different?
Ever since I first started speech and debate, you always think about, okay, so I'm gonna do this, this, and this, but senior year, I'm gonna do something big. I'm just gonna, push the envelope, all that stuff, and this is really that moment that I get to do it. So this year I'm taking a lot of risks that I didn't think I was really going to take, whether it be I have some really sensitive content material in my DI all about the troubled teen industry and abusive behavior camps, and my oratory is all about the crux of originality, and which is kind of ironic because it's original oratory. But I'm trying to take those risks because it is my last go-round, even though I might do it in college.
This being your last year to compete since you're a senior, what are you hoping to accomplish this season?
I really want to just qualify to nationals again and finally go to a real postseason tournament in person. I've qualified to nationals 5 times and have never even been able to go in person, so that's the hope for this year.
Great, thank you.